have an alliance with Israel. As you know, they're not an ally of the United States in the technical sense. But we have a bond to Israel that's much stronger.
Few international relationships have shaped the modern world like that of the United States and Israel. Born from the aftermath of World War II, this alliance is rooted in shared ideals and a sense of destiny. For Americans, Israel's founding echoed their own story: freedom, democracy, and hope in a promised land. This connection, emotional and strategic, has weathered wars, crises, and shifting global tides. From the chaos of the British Empire's retreat to Cold War battlegrounds and modern threats, the U.S.-Israel bond has remained a central pillar of American foreign policy. Why is this support so unwavering? The answer lies in a unique blend of history, ideology, and strategy, a story still unfolding. In 1948, as Israel declared its independence, a momentous occasion unfolded in the Middle East. The world watched as David Ben-Gurion proclaimed the establishment of a new Jewish state, fulfilling a long-held dream. President Truman, thousands of miles away, faced a defining choice, one that would resonate through history. The decision before him was whether to recognize this nascent nation. Despite considerable opposition from his advisors, who cautioned against hasty action and emphasized potential geopolitical ramifications, Truman remained resolute. Truman, with remarkable speed, recognized Israel just 11 minutes after its founding, a decision that stunned the international community and signaled a profound shift in American foreign policy. This swift recognition was more than symbolic, a move that gave the new nation vital legitimacy on the world stage, bolstering its standing and prospects for survival. This was more than just politics or strategic calculation. For Truman, it was a deeply held moral imperative, driven by a sense of responsibility to the Jewish people. His worldview was profoundly shaped by the horrors of the Holocaust, the systematic extermination of 6 million Jews during World War II. Truman felt a strong sense of historical justice, believing that the Jewish people deserved a homeland after enduring centuries of persecution and culminating in the unimaginable atrocities of the Holocaust. Yet, even with this recognition, America's support was cautious and measured, reflecting the complexities of the situation in the Middle East. An arms embargo, reflecting concerns about fueling regional conflict, forced Israel to seek weapons from other sources, often through clandestine channels. This occurred during its war for survival, a brutal and existential struggle against overwhelming odds. Still, U.S. recognition sent a powerful and unmistakable message to the world, signaling a commitment to Israel's existence. It declared to the global community, Israel was not alone in its fight for survival and self-determination. Truman's courageous decision set a significant precedent for future administrations. It demonstrated that American presidents would sometimes defy their own establishment and conventional wisdom, even in the face of strong opposition. They would do so for Israel's sake, recognizing the unique bond and shared values between the two nations. This early embrace, though tentative at times, laid the groundwork for a relationship that would become one of the most enduring and strategically important in American foreign policy. It paved the way for a relationship that would deepen through decades of conflict, geopolitical shifts, and shared strategic interests. It also fostered a spirit of cooperation that would see the two nations working together on a wide range of issues, from security and intelligence to technology and economic development. It was the first act, a crucial step. It was the opening chapter in a long, complex, and ultimately enduring alliance that continues to shape the landscape of the Middle East and the dynamics of international relations to this day. The U.S.-Israel relationship was truly forged in the crucible of war, tested by fire and strengthened through shared challenges. It wasn't merely a political alignment, it was a bond built on mutual strategic interests and a deep-seated commitment to Israel's security. In 1967, Israel's stunning and decisive victory in the Six-Day War dramatically reshaped the geopolitical landscape of the Middle East. This swift triumph transformed Israel from a vulnerable state, constantly under threat, to a recognized regional power with significant military capabilities. Recognizing the shifting dynamics, America, under President Lyndon Johnson, stepped forward to offer crucial diplomatic support to the burgeoning nation. This support manifested in tangible ways, including effectively blocking UN condemnation of Israel's actions during and after the conflict. The Johnson administration also began recognizing Israel's growing strategic value as a key ally in the region, particularly in the context of the ongoing Cold War. After 1967, U.S. military aid to Israel surged dramatically, marking a significant turning point in the relationship between the two nations. This increased aid cemented a robust and enduring alliance, laying the foundation for future cooperation and mutual defense strategies. However, the strength of this bond was truly tested in 1973 during the Yom Kippur War, a surprise attack that caught Israel completely off guard. In the face of a multi-front assault, Israel, caught entirely off guard and facing potential defeat, urgently pleaded for assistance from its allies. President Nixon, recognizing the gravity of the situation, responded decisively with a massive and unprecedented military airlift operation, known as Nickel Grass. This rapid resupply of critical military equipment proved instrumental in turning the tide of the war, bolstering Israel's defenses and ultimately contributing to its survival. This crucial intervention, however, came at a significant cost for the United States and the global community. In retaliation for America's support of Israel, Arab nations imposed a crippling oil embargo, triggering a global energy crisis that sent shockwaves through the world economy. Yet despite the economic hardship and political pressure, America's willingness to pay that price demonstrated an unwavering commitment to its ally. This steadfast support, even in the face of adversity, further solidified the already strong alliance between the United States and Israel.
It's a moral commitment because of what happened during the Holocaust, and a moral commitment because it is a democracy, the only democracy in that area.
The message sent by the Nixon administration was unequivocally clear to the world. U.S. support for Israel's survival and security was not merely a matter of policy, but a fundamental and absolute commitment. These two pivotal wars, the Six-Day War and the Yom Kippur War, fundamentally transformed the nature of the U.S.-Israel relationship. The relationship evolved from one of initial moral support and diplomatic backing to a deep and enduring strategic partnership, built on shared values and mutual security interests. This alliance, forged in the fires of conflict, became a cornerstone of U.S. foreign policy in the Middle East, shaping regional dynamics for decades to come. U.S. support for Israel is most visible in military and financial aid. Since the 1970s, America has guaranteed Israel's qualitative military edge, providing advanced weapons and billions in grants. The latest agreement promises $38 billion over 10 years, much of it spent on Israel's own defense industry, fueling innovations like Iron Dome. Joint exercises, intelligence sharing, and access to top-tier U.S. technology make the alliance unique. America also shields Israel diplomatically, often using its UN veto to block critical resolutions. This multi-layered support ensures Israel's security and survival in a volatile region. The alliance is as much about shared interests as it is about shared values.
Our commitment to Israel's security is ironclad. Let me say it again, ironclad.
The U.S.-Israel alliance stands on two pillars: shared democratic values and strategic interests. Many Americans see Israel as a fellow democracy, a beacon of freedom in a turbulent region. Religious and cultural ties, especially among evangelicals, fuel passionate support, making Israel a bipartisan cause. Strategically, Israel has been a reliable partner, first as a bulwark against Soviet influence, now as a key ally against terrorism and regional threats. Intelligence cooperation is deep. Israeli insights have helped thwart attacks and shape U.S. policy. The partnership is mutually beneficial. America's investment in Israel's security is also an investment in its own. This blend of ideology and pragmatism keeps the alliance strong. It's a relationship of both the heart and the head. Domestic politics and advocacy groups like AIPAC play a crucial role in sustaining U.S.-Israel ties. AIPAC's bipartisan lobbying ensures support for Israel remains a consensus issue in Congress. Campaign contributions and grassroots mobilization make standing with Israel a safe political choice. Recently, debates have grown more contentious, especially within the Democratic Party, as some call for a more balanced approach to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Still, public support for Israel remains strong, especially among older Americans and Republicans. This political foundation keeps military aid and diplomatic backing steady, even as the conversation evolves. The alliance's roots in American politics run deep. The U.S.-Israel alliance, a bond forged in shared values and strategic interests, shapes global politics in profound and multifaceted ways. Its influence extends far beyond the Middle East, impacting diplomatic relations, security strategies, and even economic partnerships worldwide. For many Arab and Muslim nations, The relationship is viewed through a critical lens. Unwavering U.S. support for Israel, particularly in the context of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, is seen as a barrier to a just and lasting peace, fueling perceptions of bias and double standards. This perception becomes a source of regional resentment, often exploited by extremist groups and authoritarian regimes. America's efforts to balance its steadfast support for Israel, a key ally, with maintaining crucial relationships in the Arab world, a region vital for energy security and counter-terrorism efforts, often create complex diplomatic challenges requiring delicate negotiations and strategic compromises. The alliance also significantly affects global power dynamics. Rivals like Russia and China, seeking to expand their influence in the Middle East and beyond, frequently use it to criticize U.S. policy, portraying America as biased and undermining international law. This narrative allows them to rally support elsewhere, particularly among nations critical of U.S. foreign policy. The relationship is a key piece and undeniable factor on the world's geopolitical chessboard, influencing alliances, conflicts, and the overall balance of power. It has undoubtedly helped Israel survive and thrive, providing crucial military and economic assistance, but it has also deeply entangled America in the region, in complex, costly conflicts, shaping its foreign policy priorities and military deployments. As the world changes, with new powers rising and old alliances shifting, this alliance remains a defining feature, a constant presence of international affairs, demanding careful consideration and strategic management. Its story is far from over, and its future trajectory will continue to shape global events.